Benny remembered all the World of Warcrafts. How sad is that? Welcome back to Two Guys, a Girl, and a Pizza Place.
Oh my God,
really?
did you really?
Wow.
Episode 39 of season 11. Benny has deployed to Afghanistan, but he came back after Rob and Natalie got married to take care of Natalie.
We were dating, but now we're married.
Yeah, now you're married.
Well, that's the natural
happens?
progression, I guess.
I don't know,
We're a
man.
sitcom.
I don't know.
We're a sitcom. But don't worry, when Benny came back from Afghanistan, he was slightly cuckoo, and he decided to start dating the local dog. So,
Whoa.
Wow.
And yeah, this is where people stopped watching the show.
Yeah, man. This is it's getting to the final season of like that 70s show. Like, it's dropping off pretty bad.
Yeah, just stop it at this point. Just end it.
all right. So anyway, so today we're going to be talking about a little bit more of a discussion, not a discussion, just a discussion.
Yeah.
And I want to bring up a topic, talk to you guys about it. This is more MMO centric, but I think Rob will have a good viewpoint on this. Not being an MMO player, maybe being relating
Well, he
to
does
some of
play
his
an
own games.
MMO, Destiny.
But he does play Destiny, yes.
Yeah, I do play Destiny.
I know. You don't have to tell me.
Wow.
All right. So anyway, so World of Warcraft has announced they're going to bring back classic servers. This was a while ago that they announced this.
Wait, when was that?
Did they announce it? BlizzCon.
Yes.
What?
Because if they were doing that for 11, I'd be there.
Well, okay, so anyway, here's what the debate is, though. So it's been a long-standing thing with World of Warcraft. Vanilla's better. Vanilla's better.
Well, it is,
Vanilla's
though.
better. You've heard the same thing in the Call of Duty community. Modern Warfare 2 is better.
Yeah.
Black Ops is
Black
the
Ops
best
1.
one. Yeah. Everyone has their favorite.
Yeah.
Where World of Warcraft, people like to say the vanilla was better. This is when MMOs were first introduced. You had to walk across the entire world. You couldn't teleport. You had to make a party in a chat
In
room.
WoW as well?
Huh?
In WoW as well?
It was everything you thought in 11 was in WoW at the launch.
Okay.
The difference is WoW had more of a direct progression.
Yeah.
Well, Final Fantasy did not. They were very similar at the launch, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, over the years, WoW has kind of paved the way of what we like to call the casual theme park MMO now. It's what Destiny kind of is. You get on, this is what you do, you get your gear, you get off for the night, you get on the next day, this is what you do, here's your gear. And they've given you a lot of quality of life changes and various other things like pet battles, teleporting, instant character levels, things like that.
Okay.
As time has gone on, it's brought in a lot more casuals. The game has gotten more popular, but there's still that crowd that's like, we want vanilla.
Yeah.
We want what we originally signed up for. We don't want this.
Yep.
Okay. Well, they've officially announced at BlizzCon that they're bringing back classic servers, which I think a lot of us, for all of our favorite games, would love to see an older game brought back that you enjoy, brought back to life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even Destiny 1, I don't think it's still up, is it?
It is.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh.
Servers are still going, yeah.
I didn't know that. I didn't know it was still up.
Yeah, you can still play Destiny 1.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
I
then,
think
okay, but it's not launch Destiny 1. It's totally different from what it was at launch.
Yeah, no, it's all the expansions and everything.
Yeah. So anyway, this leads us. Now, we weren't talking about this topic. This isn't us being late, but I like to play MMOs. We do a lot in our twitch.tv/EligibleMonster on the weekends. And that leads me to watching a lot of YouTube videos about the current patches and information so that I'm up to date. And I've been seeing a topic that has come up with WoW recently. People are wanting the classic servers. But there's a list of requests from the current stuff that they want that they want back in the game.
You can
So
do
they're
that,
basically they're trying, the argument has turned into, we want this game, but we want these features.
Yeah.
And the debate or discussion I want to talk about today is do you think that that's right? Do you think that players are finally getting what they wanted? They're getting that classic game. Do they even have a right to request that they basically restructure that coding to work in all this new shit?
No, they don't.
I mean, it depends on what point, on what argument they take. If they say, hey, look, over the years, we've come to what we perceive to be this sort of perfect World of Warcraft core game. And it's the original version plus these few things here and there. Because over the years, you've given us 1,000 things, but only 200 of them really matter. So we'd rather have the original version and those 200 things. But if they come along and they say, well, the original version was just that was the best one. Well, no, then it defies the entire argument. If you say the original one was the best one, we just need that original one back. But we still want the convenience stuff. No.
That's exactly the argument they're making. We want the convenience factors. We want these flight points. We want these teleportation. We want the ability to go looking for a group, have it automatically put us in a group.
Yeah.
Imagine if in Destiny, instead of being able to queue into a strike, you had to go into town and type in chat, who wants to go with me?
Yeah.
That's original WoW. Now, over time, they've come up with the system where it puts you in. So things like that. And they want that stuff back. The biggest argument I've seen is just transmogrification. I can't pronounce it. I never could.
Transmog.
We always call it
Yeah,
transmog. That's what we call it.
Yeah.
So.
Transmog.
But what it is the equivalent of this is my gear, but I can make it look like this gear.
Yes.
Yeah.
So.
That,
what do you
that was
think?
in WoW. I mean, that's what they're requesting right now.
That's one of the
transmog
biggest
in
ones I've
WoW.
seen. And multiple requests, that one comes up a lot.
I mean, for me, it wouldn't matter to me just because we didn't have transmog in 11, so it doesn't matter to me. But if it was just that specific thing
yeah.
that they were requesting, I would just...
Well, there's quite a few things.
But
Like teleportation,
most people are
quality
like,
of
oh,
life changes.
Yeah, most people are like, oh, I'm nostalgic because I missed this, and that from the WoW vanilla.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure transmog is not part of that
It's
nostalgia.
not.
It's
And
not.
part of the counter argument is part of what made classic WoW great was
Yeah.
when you finally earned that
'Cause,
amazing piece of gear.
Exactly. I'm pretty sure it's
you
all
would
about
stand
the
in town
content.
and show it off.
It's all about the end game content essentially. So, and transmog's not a part of that. So,
Right.
yeah, just,
Transmog.
That's what they call it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Different
Just-
games call it different things. You know,
You
like
can have-
fashion,
yeah.
glamour.
if you're requesting the old stuff, you can have the best of both worlds. That's not how it works. So,
You get, in my opinion, that's just like if you want 2005 WoW, here's 2005 WoW.
Yeah.
That is what you get. You don't
Yeah.
get 2005 WoW plus 2007's enhancements, 2009's enhancements.
Yeah.
The only thing that I could see an argument for, put the graphical enhancements in.
oh yeah.
Yeah, because I
For
imagine
sure,
2005 World of Warcraft looks terrible by today's standards.
It doesn't look that great right now. So imagine what it looked like back then.
That's the only
It's
thing
like
I could
cardboard
see for
cutouts
sure.
walking around.
Yeah, it'd be
Jesus.
pretty rough.
But that's the only thing I can see,
Yeah.
like, having like ground to stand on. Like, yes,
Yep.
we should get that back. We should have that.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, I could see that being the case. I mean, I don't know. I mean, like I said, to me, it really just all hinges on the crux of their argument. If the crux of their argument is the original was better, we should get the original back, then you get the original back in its entirety. You don't get any of the special things.
Exactly.
But if it's we're trying to form what we consider to be a perfect World of Warcraft, then sure, you know. So,
Like a great example is like Call of Duty.
uh-huh.
Which one's your favorite?
Modern Warfare 2. No, I'd say Black Ops 1 is probably my favorite.
Okay,
Yeah.
so they bring back Black Ops 1. They bring back the core of the game. Here it is, all the maps. They did it with Modern Warfare 2.
Yeah.
How would you feel if they brought back Black Ops 1, but there was a core of the community? Well, can we get the maps from Black Ops 2 and 3 also?
No, they didn't do it with Modern Warfare 2. They did it with Black Ops 1.
No, they did it with Modern Warfare 2. It came out as it was the $20 pack on for the last
No,
game.
that was Modern Warfare.
Oh, I
That
thought
was
it was
COD
one, I
4.
thought it was 2.
No, that was COD 4.
I didn't play the remastered
People have
thing
been
that came out.
asking for Modern Warfare 2. No, but I understand what you mean. So, so you're saying bringing it back except for the maps?
No, if they were like, we want everything in Black Ops 1. We want the gun handling, we want all that stuff. But also, can we have the maps from 3?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, that wasn't part of the original game.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But at the same time, if people sit down and they say, we're trying to form what we consider to be the perfect Call of Duty game, then it is basically everything that went into the design of Black Ops 1 plus like the maps from various other games.
Yeah.
Because I can think of like a handful of maps from across the entire franchise that were amazing.
Yeah.
That
I'd love to see.
But
more.
Side note, I would sign up to play Call of Duty again if they came out with like, here's just all the best guns that everyone, like on a user voted thing, the best guns, the best maps, have fun.
Yeah.
I would be all over that.
And all the game modes that you guys enjoy, Team Deathmatch, Domination, Search and Destroy, like all that stuff. Yeah, that would be amazing.
like a Call of Duty Ultimate Collection.
Yeah,
You listening to Activision?
well, I mean, I'm sure they thought of it. The problem is that it makes way too much sense, so they wouldn't do it.
Yeah, of course.
Well, just like it makes way too much sense to come out with a zombie compilation
Yeah.
of all the zombie maps and modes rolled up into one big game.
I think they did that.
No.
Oh, they haven't?
No, because that I would buy in a heart. Because lately, the Call of Duties, I just buy them to play zombies.
Or did
So
they
you give me
buy-
a zombie game, I'll buy it.
Did they? Maybe they brought in Die Reese, or no, it was Die Rise, whichever one it was. It was one of the original Black Ops 1 maps. But I know they added in like a whole other expansion too, so you could play like Moon. I'm pretty sure they brought back all the zombie maps.
No. Because I've been waiting for that. I've been looking for that.
I thought that was like one of
I think
the,
they brought back individual maps here and there, but that's a different discussion anyway.
Yeah, either way, that's not what World of Warcraft players are asking for.
Right, they're not.
They're not asking for the perfect WoW. They're asking for vanilla WoW.
Yeah,
So-
because that's always been the argument. Vanilla WoW is the best.
vanilla WoW.
Yeah, well, what they're saying is Vanilla WoW's the best, then anything that was not in the original release before the first expansion does not get thrown into that game. That's my line of logic.
But now here's the next question. And this is another debate because Blizzard has come out and said we are going to do it, but they've literally said we have no idea how. We don't know what the payment model is going to be. We don't know how we're going to bring it to you. We don't know what we're going to do with it.
Please don't do it on mobile. Please don't do it on mobile.
They've said that they have no idea what they're going to do, but they will figure it out and they will bring it out. That's what they've said. So the next question is this, because especially with an MMO, Vanilla WoW comes out. Do we then start the expansion cycle over?
Yes.
Or do we just have Vanilla WoW? That is what you play. When you hit the end of it, you're done because there's nothing else to do because they didn't expand on it.
You ask players what they want the expansions to stop at, essentially. What do they consider vanilla WoW? Like, do you want when did it stop being vanilla exactly?
Burning Legion. I think it was
Legion?
Burning something. Burning Legion, I think. Was it
Burning Legion? Then you should stop at that then. Yeah.
I never played World of Warcraft, so I have no idea.
I mean, it's like
I never played it for any measure of
because
fun.
I'm still a little bit confused with the expansions
Vanilla?
as well, just because
Vanilla is the original World of Warcraft, no subtitle.
So
then it was World of Warcraft Burning Legion, World of Warcraft Lich King, World of Warcraft Cataclysm, World of Warcraft Mists of Pandaria, World of Warcraft. Oh, can I do it? Warlords of Draenor, and then World of Warcraft Legion.
Yes.
Benny remembered all the World of Warcrafts. How sad is that?
You know why, right? You know why, right? Because we had those posters.
You didn't have them all up in there.
No, but they were there for the longest time, like in order. So
Here's the. I mean, really, my stance on this hinges on the answer to this question that I'm going to ask here. Which version of World of Warcraft was it that we saw all the videos of people raging when their passwords were changed?
It was
the original.
It was the original.
Okay, bring
for
that
sure.
back because I want to see those videos again. I want to see those folks freaking out when their passwords get changed or like their girlfriends break up with them. Like I want to see. I want to see
that's
the guy taking
thing.
the remote, shoving it up his butt.
Oh, you're never gonna hear from me
That's the
again.
thing. That's the thing. Like people were raging back in the day because whatever you did in that game mattered. Then it just handed everything to you, and it didn't fucking matter.
Yeah, that's been the problem with MMOs in general.
You didn't have to work for it. It was just.
Back in the day, MMOs did well because they were insanely difficult games to accomplish anything in.
Yeah.
So when you accomplished it, you felt like you accomplished something legitimate.
Yeah.
And then in order to bring in the mass populace, they expanded upon that and they made them easier. And they started just giving it away. Participation trophies more than anything. Mm-hmm. Like back in the day, remember back in the day, games would have like, hey, if you go farm this thing, even in regular single player games, you have a 3% chance of getting a drop.
Yeah.
You know, it's 3% chance. You're gonna farm it like crazy, but when you have it, you felt like you did something. Yes, we were 15 and 16 and went to school and played this, and that's about it. But you felt like I beat this. I did what I wanted in this game.
The licenses from Grand Theft Auto. Not Grand Theft Auto, Gran Turismo.
Yep.
I remember spending so long trying to get to those licenses, and when I finally passed it, I was like, fuck yeah,
see?
man.
Right.
Exactly.
I got that C-class license.
Exactly.
I know exactly what you're talking about too.
I was so
and when
hyped.
you finally get like C-Class, you're like, fuck. There's so many more.
Yeah, it was.
Anyway,
know exactly what
but
we're talking
games
about,
nowadays are like, well, you've been trying for 2 hours, right? Well, here, just have it.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, just look at Destiny.
Okay. But admittedly, though, like back then, if Gran Turismo would come out with an which I mean, they couldn't have done it with a PlayStation, but if they had come out like with an update, if it was capable then, and they said, and either you can race to these licenses, try to get these licenses, or you can buy them. I would have tried them in order to do it. If I got too frustrated, I would just buy it. And be like, okay, well, I'll just buy it. And not worry about it.
That's an argument that's a completely different argument, though.
Yeah.
Pay for convenience as opposed to.
But I'm saying I understand the logic of going to people and saying, like, most folks wouldn't care enough to devote hours and hours and hours and hours and hours to try and, like, hoping they can do this one thing. Like, if we want to get them in and keep them there, let's just give it to them.
Right. Well,
that makes sense to me.
That's what happened in World of Warcraft. That's the best example because once they started doing that, they started a system known as the token system. So it used to be you'd go. Now imagine if you went to Destiny, instead of getting a legendary engram, you would get specific drops every time you went in. Mm-hmm. And there was like a 1% chance of getting the gun you wanted. So you would try it 100 times, hoping to get that gun, right? Mm-hmm. But they gave you the tokens. Now, World of Warcraft used to not have any tokens. So you would go for the drop, and if you didn't get it, you kept going.
Yeah.
That's vanilla. Mm-hmm. Over the course of like Burning Legion, and I think Lich King actually introduced the token system fully. But like, you would get basically participation trophies for going to things. They would give you some tokens. So eventually, if you farmed it enough, you would just buy it anyway. Yeah. So there was no real sense of accomplishment. Like, I finally got my drop. You just like, I went 10 times.
And then the whole like, having like, a guild with you and having to compete for that specific drop.
Yeah, you were 40 other people.
Just the thrill,
That
the
old
thrill
school
of
MMOs, you'd have 40 people, 20 people to 40 people in a thing.
Yeah.
And there'd be one drop.
Yeah.
So old school guilds would be almost like little towns in themselves. Okay, the three of us are the guild masters.
Or you'd look
by
at the
showing up to
attendance.
this event, you get 1 point.
Yeah.
That point is going to be put towards your total. So the item dropped. Rob has 30 points. He's been to 30 of our events. Dan has 28. Rob, you get the drop. Because you've come to more stuff.
That's exactly it.
And that's how things used to be handled. Mm-hmm. And then it just turned into, well, we all went. Here's your tokens. So when
Yeah.
once you've
You
gone
get
enough,
whatever
you'll
you
just get
want.
your items.
Yeah.
Well, see, that's kind of interesting to me though, because it seems like the original way would be how you would get people to stay invested in it.
That they did, but the
Like-
problem is that yes,
Because it would take
the people
you
who went in
years to get
were
something.
stuck in. Like you didn't leave because then eventually it was like, I've spent 6 months getting this piece of armor.
Yeah.
I might as well just keep playing. If I leave now, that's 6 months. I wasted 6 months
Not
of my
even
life.
a
Or
night.
I work for the next piece.
Oh no, I understand that line of logic.
Yeah,
I understand.
That's
the
why
idea,
Natalie and I
like,
played
yeah.
Final Fantasy 11 for 8 years before they
Not
finally
even
started
I
giving
might
stuff out.
because
Because like
there was-
eventually
there
you're
was
like, I have so
always-
much gear. Why would I play another game? I'm God in this one.
Well, I don't know how World of Warcraft worked, but in Final Fantasy 11,
It was the same way. World
reason-
of Warcraft did that too.
the reason why we kept going is because you always had to go after that one specific piece of gear that would make just one weapon skill out of your rotation slightly better if you were equipping that piece. That's why you
Final
had
Fantasy
so
was a
many
lot more
combinations.
min-maxing,
Yeah.
you know, where you want that
Yes.
exact
Yeah,
number.
maximize your minimum.
Yeah, I mean, you do
Yeah.
that in Destiny all the time. You're like, no, Benny, you need this gun and this gun. And I'm like, Rob, this one shoots good. I'm good, buddy.
Yeah, it shoots really fast and is accurate, so I will use this.
So,
Like-
Rob, fuck off. Let me have my fun
Yeah.
with my shitty gun.
Exactly. And that's the thing. Like, it's just, I mean, Ben, for example.
Had that debate too.
Yeah,
Ben, for
He'll be
example.
like, you got to use Origin Story. And I'm like, but Rob, this one shoots really good.
yeah. This one shoots fast. Like use Origin Story or Uriel's Gift. Yeah, but like this one's like a Gatling gun. So like
I
I'm
got
gonna
sweet
use that.
business.
I got sweet business.
Oh my gosh.
We have a nice debate on Destiny.
Yeah, sure. Destiny.
So let's bring this discussion up to a close.
Yeah.
Do you feel wanting a classic version of your game, you should get that version, or they should be allowed to make small demands of things they'd like changed?
Well, to kind of build up on your question earlier, where you asked like how far do they go? Like you know for a fact if they come back and they release the vanilla version and they say, okay, so like we're going to update the graphics on this original World of Warcraft, and all the expansions will have updated graphics, people will buy it because while it is familiar, in a lot of ways it's brand new too.
Yeah.
and it
Right.
looks new and it looks
It's
fresh and that
remastered.
kind of thing. It's remastered. So I would say just kind of roll with the punches and go with that. To answer that immediate question. No, if you say the original version was better and I want the original version, then if it didn't come with the original version, you don't get it. You have to get it as an expansion later on. You literally just do the release cycle the way Warcraft was originally done. Or
Yeah,
World
I would
of
agree with you
Warcraft.
on that one.
So,
Plus, it makes things stupid easy for Blizzard. They just go, hey, you know all that work we already did? And now it's out.
yeah, and here's the thing: you don't eliminate the old stuff. Right? Like, you don't tell people, like, if you buy this remastered version, then everything you had before, you lose. Because then you push off your entire fan base.
Right.
Like, you literally create two different communities or what have you, the remastered community.
Well, I think that's what they're
versus
trying to
the-
figure out. Now, do
Yeah.
they do that? Do they make two different servers?
I
two
That's
different
what I would-
areas?
I would start from scratch, like from zero.
Oh, I would not restart the entire player because you got to think.
I would.
Like, I imagine there are still people who play World of Warcraft now that were there when it first started.
Yeah.
And they've been playing it nonstop.
Dan has
Absolutely.
played it. Dan and Kevin on the Comic Story team have been doing that. I've played it since launch, but I've dropped off at various points. Like, oh, I'm not playing now. Oh, let's go back. And
So
play.
you're talking about people who've been playing this game for over a decade.
Yeah.
Who have over a decade built into the character they've built on that game. Assuming that
Then-
it's like their main. Like, if you wipe that away, if you go to like the Kevins and the Dans of the world, and you say, hey, look, guys, like we're setting you back to zero, you're going to lose everything, they'll walk.
Well, no, they're not doing that.
no.
They have a new
Yeah,
expansion
you
coming
do
out.
separate.
Yeah.
So they,
okay.
so they have the what's been coming out has a new expansion with its own stuff. Classic is going to be its own separate servers and stuff.
Okay, see,
they
that-
just
that
don't know
makes
how they're
sense
going
to
to
me.
handle things.
Yeah, that makes sense to me. Just like just have the remastered server. It's just like you have the current server right now that's been building for 10 years.
Oh yeah, yes.
And then
It's
you just
never
have
been.
the remastered
It's
stuff.
never been about just forcing people to just go back. The people that want to go back, they'll just go and start from scratch on a different server. And the people that don't want to lose their stuff, they're just going to stay.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you could do that, if you could have two characters,
absolutely.
you could have your remastered
Yeah.
character and you could have your classic character.
Yeah.
Then like your remastered character starts from zero and you
Yeah.
work all the way up through, but you still have your older character.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes, that I think is the best of both worlds,
Yeah, of
and that would
course.
actually work exceedingly well.
Yeah.
What do you think? Because I know you're more into the MMO world. Do you feel like that? Do you feel like the original should be? That's it. That's the original.
I mean, if you were coming out with one of my favorite games, before it went to shit, then of course I would go back for sure. I would go back. Yeah. It's just that it's a matter of how many people would go along, because you'd need people to work together to
Yeah.
achieve anything. So how many people would actually be on board with it is the thing.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you guys think down below? I know we kind of derailed a few times, and I think that's the point of the discussions. We just get to talk about whatever we want. But do you think that World of Warcraft, because this is a debate, and this isn't new news, this has been floating around, but I just thought this would be a good one to talk about.
It is a cool topic.
Yeah, do you think that the original game should be the original game, or do you think you should get to have the original game and your favorite features? Let us know in the comments down below. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter at Eligible Monster. Subscribe to the channel for more discussions. And if you want to talk to us individually, that is Comics Explained, Comic Historian, and Zodic with Candy on Twitter. Thank you for your time. We'll see you next time.
Peace.
Bye.